it's all in the hands of the House now. The Senate has passed a bill to end the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. The House is expected to vote on it as soon as tomorrow, but the deal is deepening the divide among Democrats after 8 of their members broke ranks to pass the bill with Senate Republicans. Democrats didn't get the main thing that they've been holding out for, an extension of Obamacare credits that would keep health insurance costs from soaring. What they did get was a promise from Senate Republicans to hold a vote on it after the shutdown deal passed late last night. Some Democrats did not hide their frustration.
What just happened in the Senate chamber was an absolute disgrace. I can't stress it enough. I'm just so pissed off at just what's going to happen to so many people. So we'll get to the political ramifications and whatnot. But right now, just coming out from this vote, I'm sad for so many that we weren't able to help.
Much of the furor among Democrats is being directed at their Senate leader, Chuck Schumer. He didn't vote for the deal, but some say he didn't hold the line either, and it's time for him to go.
He's the leader of the Senate. This deal would never have happened if he had not blessed it. It's time for him to be replaced. He is not meeting the moment. He's out of touch with where the party's base is.
Meantime, as the shutdown drags on, it's still causing travel chaos for millions of Americans. More than 1,000 flights already canceled today, with the FAA set to ramp up cuts to air traffic from 4% to 6% today at 40 major airports. Kate?
Let's talk about the state of things and where this is headed on Capitol Hill. Joining us right now is Democratic Congressman Jake Auchincloss of Massachusetts. Congressman, thanks for being here. You have said that you are a no on this deal. Why is it not enough? Why is this not letting the perfect be the enemy of the good then?
Good morning. Thanks for having me on. It's not even good. I mean, there's no perfect and good here. It's caving. And not a single win was delivered for the middle class. The middle class was very clear in 2024 when Donald Trump won his election, and very clear again this week in the New Jersey and Virginia and Georgia and New York elections, that affordability is the mandate. If you are a politician, you either lower prices or you perish. And so before this shutdown happened, along with other members of the House, I laid out a series of ways that we might lower prices for the middle class. It was reversing the worst of the Medicaid cuts. It was a vote on the tariffs to rescind some of these inflationary measures. And none of it got done. And as Democrats look forward to January, when we're going to be doing this whole rodeo all over again, we had better have a strategy that we can deliver on for the middle class, because voters want to see politicians get stuff done to lower prices.
You call it caving. There's a lot of criticism coming towards the 8 democratically aligned senators who negotiated this deal and voted for this deal. I had one of them, Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen, on the show yesterday, and she responded to criticism coming at them from within the party. Let me play this for you.
All those people who opposed this agreement, staying in a shutdown mode was not getting us anywhere, and they need to train their fire on the people who are responsible. That's President Donald Trump, it's Speaker Johnson, and it's the Republicans who have blocked every attempt to get health care. We need to be working together. That's what I intend to do.
And Congressman Angus King is another senator who was voted for it, said standing up to Donald Trump didn't work. It actually gave him more power when it came to this shutdown. What's your reaction to that? Do you hear their point?
I hear Senator Shaheen's point that Republicans have had 15 years to propose another way to expand health care coverage and lower health care prices, and they have failed. Election cycle over election cycle, term over term, to offer anything to the American public for how to lower health care prices. Republicans own this inflationary economy. Between the biggest tax hike in American history with these tariffs, the biggest health care cut in American history with these Medicaid cuts, between the crony capitalism that hooks up Donald Trump's friends but not the middle class, he owns this economy and the anxiety that lives within it. At the same time, Democrats cannot simply continue to oppose Donald Trump without offering Americans an alternative agenda. And part of our alternative agenda needs to be a compelling way that we will lower healthcare prices. And that includes negotiating on the ACA. I am perfectly open to negotiating on these enhanced subsidies, whether it's for higher earners, shaving off some of those subsidies, whether it is sunsetting it after 1 year with the agreement that we negotiate on different ways of getting people onto the exchanges through employer grants or Medicaid expansion. But we have to have a strategy and a plan that we can deliver on, even in the minority in Congress.
You talk about election cycles. Something that we see in this group of 8 Democratically aligned senators is 2 of them are retiring, and the rest of them are not up for re-election next year. Do you think they would have cut this deal had they been set to be facing voters next year? Would you be voting differently if you weren't facing voters next year?
I think a year out trying to play politics with these shutdown votes is losing the plot. The electorate has been crystal clear about what they care about, and that's higher prices, affordability across the board. And the electorate knows who to blame for the affordability crisis in this economy. It's Donald Trump and it's MAGA Republicans who are fixated on designing a golden ballroom at the same time as they're trying to deprive paychecks for air traffic controllers. I mean, these folks have just totally lost the plot here. But Democrats can't just sit back and point fingers. What voters want to hear is, what's your plan? What's your plan on housing? What's your plan on healthcare? What's your plan on energy? And that is what we need to be putting forward. That's what I have been putting forward and what we need to deliver on after the midterms.
I'm joined now by Rahm Emanuel. He's our senior political and global affairs commentator. Rahm, thanks so much for joining us. You served in the House of Representatives. You were a White House chief of staff during the Obama administration. How do you see the vote going tomorrow?
Oh, I think the Republicans will pass it. They're not bringing it up if they didn't think they could pass it. On the other hand, the Democrats are going to be unified accordingly and appropriately against the legislation because of health care. And so I think that's how it will happen. But I think there's a bigger issue here that comes out of this, Wolf, and the simple point is, while a lot of people are thinking about who's up, who's down, the Republicans showed their true colors here. They're willing to go to the Supreme Court to deny kids food, while they're also willing to cut and deny their parents health care. And that issue doesn't disappear. And in fact, the president's own pollster said the health care issue is going to be dangerous for the House Republicans. So I think actually, while there's the issue of ACA and the vote and opening up the government, when it's all said and done, the Republicans actually took a lot of bruises here that are going to continue to play through the election.
As you know, Rahm, 8 Democratic senators, there was actually 7 Democratic senators, 1 independent senator who caucuses with the Democrats. They broke ranks to join Republicans on the bill to end the federal government shutdown. That measure, as we all know, does not include a specific plan to extend subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. Those subsidies were the whole basis for not ending the shutdown earlier. Do you think those 8 senators made the wrong move?
Look, I mean, I would not be voting for this. They made their decision that they're going to do. My recommendation to Democrats, stop doing it, what we do really well. Stop doing the firing squad in the circle. Remember that the laser focus is on the Republican and the president. What Tuesday last week showed, this was a repudiation of Donald Trump and the Republicans. And that's where our focus has to be, because 1 year from now is the next election, which will determine whether the House and Senate stay in Republican hands, who have been a rubber stamp for this president. Again, I think that when all the fog is lifted from this battle and deciding who's up and down and the Democrats attacking Democrats, the Republicans showed who they are. They will go all the way to the Supreme Court to deny poor families and working class families food while also cutting health care. Health care came from the rubble all the way to the top. Now, either Republicans are going to vote to give premium support and support the ACA and health care for middle class and working class families, or they're going to deny them the premium support. That means that you have an issue in the election. And again, I want to repeat, the president's own pollster said this is a knife at the Republicans' majority throat. And they have to make a decision, either vote to support it or lose your seat. And so not is all lost. You know, a lot of things in Washington is 100% here, this is who won, this is who lost, or we're going to fight among ourselves. Keep an eye on the Republicans, keep an eye on Donald Trump. Remember now, health care is no longer at the bottom of the pile, it's at the top, which is what happened in 2018 when the Republicans lost the majority of the House in that year.